Pokemon Scarlet and Violet have given us the introduction of the Paradox Pokemon, and one of the most interesting to follow in my opinion has been Sandy Shocks. In Series 2, this was considered mostly just a gimmick mon that was ran next to Espathra with Gravity and Hypnosis in order to put Pokemon to sleep. But in Series 3, we ended up actually seeing our very first not Espathra-based top cut, to my knowledge, thanks to the user Griffin, of course, who ended up doing a pretty solid showcase with Roaring Moon Sandy Shocks team, which did pretty good. Now, we have another version of this team with Tornadus instead of Roaring Moon that is updated for Regulation D because Griffin has yet again done another Day 2 finish, so of course, I'm legally obligated to show off the shocks. If you guys enjoy, of course, like and subscribe for more, and let's show off the team, at the very least here, that no one got to see on stream that should have been shown on stream. So today's team, of course, is built by Griffin, and it consists of Tera Ice, Tera Blast, Sandy Shocks, and with Thunderbolt, Earth Power, and Tera Blast, you can honestly hit pretty much everything in the meta with this. In tandem with the Sunny Day Tornadus, you can boost the special attack of Sandy Shocks even further with the ability Protosynthesis, while also boosting your damage on Heatran, which is pretty nice. You do have, of course, Tailwind and Torn, which is nice for the Sandy Shocks, Heatran, T-Tar, Azu, and of course the Breloom, which is featuring a loaded dice, which honestly this is a really good fast Spore mon, and with Tera Ghost you can get around a lot of common priority options like E-Speed D-Knight, as well as different fake out options like Iron Hands and Rillaboom. Overall, this team is definitely pretty terrifying, and especially if you can get up that Tailwind, you can typically win games in a couple of turns, as long as your opponent doesn't get up Trick Room, which is definitely the scariest matchup for this team. If you guys want to try the team yourselves, of course, Rental is on screen here, as well as the link to the team in the description below, but let's get started on today's matches. We're here. It's time for the Shocks. Shocks, honestly, really fucking funny mon. I'm so glad that Griffin did another really strong run with this thing, because it's so silly just watching this thing do well. But we do have the Sandy Shocks team, part 2. If you guys, of course, enjoy, like, and subscribe, we're taking on a team consisting of Fluttermane, Torn, Lando, Urshifu, Rillaboom, and Chi-Yu. So there's no Roaring Moon this time. Instead, we do have Tornadus, and also over Meowscarada, we have Breloom, aka, of course, Fitmungus. We have Azu, which I forgot what Azu's replacing. I know... Let's see, so really most of the team is different. I think the only thing carried over is the Sandy Shocks, but everything basically fills a similar role to what the Reg C version of the team was. I kind of want to lead off with Torn. I feel like Torn is pretty good. I feel like probably leading off with like Torn. Honestly, Torn Azu might not be a bad lead, because a lot of the things they would probably lead here would be like what? Maybe Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, or Shifu, like all those actually be really good for Azu. The only bad thing would be Rillaboom, which I could just bring in Heatran. And I think I'm going to clean the game with Shocks. T-Tar's not terrible here either, but I do like Shocks a little bit more. And while Breloom doesn't have a terrible matchup, I feel like there's just better options. And frankly, I don't think I'll struggle killing Chi-Yu, which is kind of the best thing that Breloom has outside of, I guess, maybe Sash on Fluttermane. I could, well, either on Fluttermane or on Urshifu. But I don't see either having Sash. They both kind of phased away from running Sash. Lando T. Okay, Lando T is still perfectly fine. I'm very fine with the Lando T Torn lead, because Lando T Torn, again, should still struggle against Azu Torn, so I'm not too concerned with this. If my opponent goes for Tailwind, that's fine. If they go for Taunt, that's also fine. Either way, though, I think my best play is to just go for the Liquidation right into Landorus. Landorus will probably switch out here. If there is a Rillaboom on the field, then they're probably going to just go right into Rillaboom. Otherwise, though, then they kind of just need to take the hit, because their only other switch-ins would all hate Azu Dual Stab, and the Amon will, like, definitely guarantee drop here, no matter what. My opponent is going to switch, not switch, they're going to Tera, they're probably going to Tera the Landorus, most likely into either Tera Water or Tera Flying, I'm not sure which, but probably one of the two. Tera Flying, okay, so it's definitely a more offensive Landorus build. Good to note, at the very least, that's definitely important information. Still not really too concerned, in all honesty. My opponent's going to go for Tailwind as well, which is good to note. They're probably going to Tera Blast me right away then. I'm curious if Azu will take the hit. I feel pretty confident that it can, but even still, I can always try and take out the Landorus next turn if you do kill me with Tera Blast. So Tera Blast is going to go off. I think it's an Azu? Yeah, it's an Azu. We do chew that. Okay, perfect. We chew that pretty comfortably, and then I can just go for an Aqua Jet on the following turn, which is nice. I do have a bit of my health back as well, thanks to the Citrus Berry, which is also going to be very helpful here. Liquidation, yeah, it does some okay damage. I think I'm actually going to go for, ooh, okay, Defense Chop, that might not be terrible. For now, I'm going to go for the Bleakwind Storm in all honesty, and then I'm going to go for a Protect on Azu, try and let it just take this hit a little bit better. I could maybe go for Tera Steel, but frankly, I feel like the Tera will be still better suited for Shocks anyway, because Tera Blast Ice does give me a really good way to hit Rillaboom at least, which, while obviously I'm probably going to more need it for Landorus if anything, still being able to hit Rillaboom is very valuable, so I will definitely take some of course, ability to do that. Bleakwind will go off here. We're going to kill the Landorus. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We do get a crit there. I don't know how much that mattered, but, I mean, regardless, I'll take the crit. And killing Landorus already is huge. That's a really good deterrent that my opponent could have maybe had in my physical offense. I could probably also just switch into Heatran pretty easily now, barring Urshifu coming in on the field, which I doubt it will, considering we do have an Azu still here. But even if Urshifu does come in the field for whatever reason, I'm just going to go for Bleakwind and then probably... Honestly, I probably will just sack Heatran if Urshifu really is the next mon in. They're going to go into Urshifu. Really? Okay. Damn it, did not expect that. I'm going to go for Bleakwind here. And then I think I kind of want to go into Heatran. I could also just keep Heatran around and let Azu dip. Letting Azu dip probably isn't terrible. Just in case of Focus Sash, I might just Aqua Jet because there's a pretty real chance they just go for Surge Strikes. I could also Tera Steel. No, I'm not going to Tera Steel. I'm going to Aqua Jet into the Torn just to... I mean, I would Aqua Jet into the Shifu, but I feel like it's definitely either Scarf if they brought... It's almost certainly Scarf if they brought it in, actually. So there's no reason to Aqua Jet Shifu. Because Scarf, frankly, will not do a ton of damage to my overall team. No, they're not going to be Scarf. Okay, good to know. So my Bleakwind should go off first into that Urshifu before anything will happen to me. Perfect. Alright, so we kill both Mons. That's pretty good. Last Mon, really no matter what that last Mon is, it should struggle against Sandy Shocks 1v1, or at the very least Sandy Shocks plus the supporting Mon. So I think all I need to do actually at this point is probably just go for... Probably just Sunny Day on Torn just to try and get my booster up. Well, not my booster up, just in general, just to pop my Proto. They're going to bring in Chi-Yu here. Okay, perfect. That's honestly fine. I'm not too concerned. Let me just double check real quick. We are booster speed, right? Griffin was smart with this. No, special attack. So close. Okay. I'm going to go for Sunny. No, I'm not going to go for Sunny Day. I'm going to switch out, actually. I'm going to switch out into Heatran here. And then I'm going to go for Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet definitely won't kill Chi-Yu, but I'm very fine with that. Really, the goal here is just to try and keep around Sandy Shocks, which Sandy Shocks should be able to pick this off very comfortably. Let's see, Heatran. I remember Griffin actually hunting for Heatran. Now that I'm like seeing it enter the field, it's pretty cool because he was literally hunting for that at NASC. Okay, perfect. Yep, Heat-Wave is walled. We're gonna lose Azu in the process, but it's honestly fine. Realistically, my opponent doesn't get a great turn to do anything. Are they gonna reveal item? They're not gonna reveal item. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna go for Torn Tailwind here. Mostly just because I want to try and BM my opponent, and I want to try and get the Sandy Shock skill. Because of course, why not get the Sandy Shock skill? So we're gonna go for Tailwind here. Because Sandy Shocks can do it, and Sandy Shocks will do it. Unfortunate. Opponent fucked up. They didn't give Sandy Shocks the kill it deserved. It would have gotten the kill for the record. We're going to see you guys in game number 2. And we are back with game number 2. In terms of my lead for this one, let's see. So it's Fluttermane, Urshifu, Ursaluna, Iron Hands, Dragonite. Okay, this is a very free Sandy Shocks game, actually. My opponent's probably going to lead off with Cress, if I had to guess. T-Tar is pretty good into that. We could probably lead off with, like, T-Tar and Torn here. Bring Azu or Breloom in the back could actually be decent. Actually, what I might do, I'm going to lead off with Breloom. And I'm going to hard target the Cress. Weirdly enough, so I know this might seem a little bit like a weird play here, but hear me out. We're going to lead off with T-Tar, and, well, we're going to lead off with Torn and Breloom. Because no matter what, it's either going to be Mental Herb, or it's going to be Safety Goggles, and either way, I can take advantage of that. We're going to bring Shocks in the back for sure, with Tera Ice thing kind of kicks teeth in. And then I think finally we're going to go with... I kind of want to go with T-Tar, but T-Tar, I don't know. What's the T-Tar Tera type again? I think it's Flying. No, it's Ghost. It's Ghost T-Tar. Ghost T-Tar might not be terrible here, actually. I do kind of like Ghost T-Tar. I kind of like Azu. I feel like I need to go Azu. Yeah, I'm going to go Azu. Ghost T-Tar's not terrible, though. But I just like Azu a bit more for the Urshifu matchup. Because Urshifu could be kind of a problem. But good luck have fun to my opponent. I feel confident that at least the Breloom plus the Torn can deny that Cress, and when I do deny the Cress Trick Room, that should open up my game plan exponentially. Because really just keeping the Trick Room off of my opponent's Ursaluna will be huge here. They're going to lead off with Fluttermane and Iron Hands. Alright, this is honestly still fine. Because what my opponent doesn't know is that I can still just get up Tailwind anyway and be perfectly set here. So I'm going to go for a Protect. I don't really need to Tera Ghost turn 1. I can, but I don't really need to. And then I'm going to go for a Tailwind here. The Tailwind should open me up a lot, at the very least. We can then just go for a Loaded Dice Bullet Seed into my opponent on the following turn. With my Breloom, of course. Their switch-ins to this aren't really that great because even something like a D-Knight would still not really want to come in comfortably. And then I can also save my Tera on Breloom, which might not be a bad Tera mon, actually. Tera Ghost Breloom could go kind of hard. Just trying to stop things like D-Knight E-Speed at the very least, and also just returning fake outs on the following turns. But I don't really need to burn that right now, and I think kind of bluffing the Tera and giving me more options also for Tera Blast on the Sandy Shocks will probably be more beneficial here overall. We're going to get the Tailwind up. They wasted a fake out turn into Breloom. That's perfectly fine. Fluttermane cannot kill me no matter what it goes for, which is perfect. And they did not reveal Booster, which is great because that means that the Breloom should guarantee outpace that, which is really good for me. I'm going to proceed to go for the Bullet Seed into the Fluttermane. This should guarantee kill. And then meanwhile, I'm going to go for a Bleakwind Storm here on the Torn just to get some damage off of my opponent, really. It's really just kind of a null play, I guess, but I don't really need to do anything else anyway. My opponent is going to protect on Fluttermane. That's perfectly fine. Bleakwind should still at least be some okay damage on the Iron Hands. Meanwhile, my opponent can't really kill me with, at least not my Breloom, with the Iron Hands. They can probably kill the Torn, obviously, but they can't kill Breloom, which is the important thing here, because Breloom will be able to pressure that spot very comfortably. My opponent's going to go for Drain Punch into Torn. That's honestly okay. I don't really mind that. In terms of what my opponent's going to do here, though, so Bullet Seed should be pretty good into every single mon besides the Dragonite. Everything else will take a ton of damage from this. Even the Crest will probably be at least 3 KO'd by it. And with a combination of Bleakwind and that, it should be 2 KO'd. So I'm going to go for a Bullet Seed here, and I'm just going to repeat the play. If my opponent's going to go for Wild Charge, so be it. I don't really mind. If they're going to switch out, I don't really mind. But Bleakwind should just be some good damage. They did avoid on Fluttermane, not a big deal, because Bullet Seed will be able to pick that off comfortably anyway. So 1 Bullet Seed. Yeah, this is guaranteed 4 hits because of Loaded Dice. Loaded Dice is such a good item on Breloom. Oh my goodness. I love that for us. Perfect. Fluttermane gone. Alright, Breloom already putting in a lot of work. Really glad that I used this team. It's probably better specifically to show off Breloom than the team that I was going to use. Because, of course, Breloom is just that mon. It's just that mon. I'm curious if they're going to bring in Dragonite here. I feel like Dragonite has a good chance of coming in and going for just an E-Speed to pick off one of my mons, which is great because if Dragonite does come in here, I can just go for Spore right into that and be perfectly fine. Dragonite comes in, perfect. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go for Spore because they're most likely going to try and go for E-Speed here and then just Wild Charge my Torn. And then meanwhile, I can go for a Bleakwind Storm here and just get some good damage off. But having preserved the Tera Ghost until now does give my opponent a reason to where they need to crutch off of this priority turn, and I can just deny it outright. So now my opponent has given me a much better position, and despite the fact that they did have to take a Drain Punch, their Banded Dragonite in this team almost certainly, at least every other version of the team I've seen has shown Banded Dragonite. So locking into that E-Speed here, oh, they're going to go for Jet. Good play by my opponent. Unfortunately, I read the call wrong. This version is Jet. Good to know, good to know. That definitely screams Banded Dragonite though, because there's no other reason to really click Aqua Jet on that turn. Which is fine, I don't mind Banded Dragonite, I could still definitely win this. I wasted a Tera, but I mean, I can still muscle past this. I could bring in Azu actually, and Azu will do a pretty good job here. Azu Shocks will actually put up some really strong offensive pressure against my opponent. Let's see. Tailwind didn't peter out, right? I mean, even if Tailwind did peter out, I could still, okay, yeah. Not great, but I can make it work. How fast is Azu? How fast is Azu? We're gonna be 79 speed. Ooh, that's kind of slow. We're gonna go into Azu Shocks. Okay. So I need to go for... This might not be a great play. This might not be a great turn. Because if I could have Tera Iced here, this would have actually been a great turn for me. But sadly, I did pop the Tera a little prematurely. I should have just let Breloom go down. But we can still make it work. It's just not going to be comfortable anymore. We're going to go for Play Off, and we're going to go for the Earth Power. My opponent is going to Tera here. Okay. Please don't Tera the hands. Please don't Tera the hands. Okay, Tera the hands. Okay, I think I lose. If it would be one thing if it was Dragonite, but again, I didn't really have a great way to just predict around that either, because my opponent does just kind of get free damage off of the Wild Charge here. We should still do some okay damage with Earth Power, but it's not going to be a lot. We actually take the Aqua Jet pretty comfortably. But of course, having the, if we did have the Tera Blast Ice, we could have just mauled Dragonite and went for Play Off, and that would have probably been a better play. We do thankfully outpace the hands, which is good. So they're very slow Iron Hands. I can definitely get behind that at least. Just go for like a really bad play. I don't know, Wild Charge. Okay, not a great play for us because we're gonna lose Azu in the process. I'm kind of hoping that they have like Last Mon Crest. Last Mon Crest could be kind of good for us, but otherwise I think I'm kind of screwed. I think really any other last mon I'm kind of screwed against. Or Shifu. Ooh, yeah, the last mon I do not want to see. That is literally the last mon I wanted to see. Or to go for Thunderbolt just to claim my kill into hands. If they go for Sucker Punch, good play. They're definitely Sash or Shifu though. They're gonna go for something. Yeah, okay. Good game. Good game. Yeah, unfortunate because if I had my, I don't actually know if I won that, to be fair, because they're Tera Water hands. I wouldn't have. There's no universe I would have made the correct play there. In all honesty, at least trying to be honest about it, I would never have Thunderbolted that spot. I guess with Tera, I might have tried to preserve a little bit better. I would have never. I'm not even gonna act like I had a better play than that, or at least that I would have made a better play than that. I just lost. All right, we'll see you guys in game number 3 though. Peace out. All right, and getting into game number 3, which might be our final game of the day. I'm not really too sure. We're taking on a team consisting of Hisui Arcanine, Ursaluna, Iron Hands, Cresselia, Fluttermane, and Qianpao. Definitely pretty interesting for sure. I feel like that Torn and Breloom still does pretty good on lead. I can definitely play around that Qianpao pretty comfortably actually with this. Yeah, so that should still pose the same sort of issues to my opponent's team that I was able to last game. I think I'm definitely going to bring Azu, and I think the last one, again, probably has to be Shocks. I don't really have another great way of breaking the Iron Hands, really, so I think I kind of need to bring Shocks. Though I'd also really like to bring T-Tar here, because with Tera Ghost, that could actually be kind of a monster. Yeah, I think I need to bring these 4. I feel like I need to bring these 4. I'm starting to see what Griffin was saying just in general, wanting slow mode for this team. I can definitely get behind that because while I feel like there are definitely ways to put up slow pressure on this team, it's only really slow pressure against Tailwind teams, which, yeah, for Trigger, no, that's really not great positioning, yeah. I feel like I could deny their Trigger move at the very least, but if they get it up, I do feel like I might end up losing, which is unfortunate. So I can kind of get where Griffin was a little bit worried about that. Okay. They're going to go for Intimidate, of course. That's perfectly fine. I think my goal is to just... Let's see. So I don't need Tailwind against this team, I don't think. I might actually for the Arcanine. I might for the Arcanine. That might be a slow Arcanine anyway. I'm going to go for the... I'm going to go for the Tailwind here. Actually, no. I'm going to go for Bleakwind here. I could also switch into Azu, but I feel like switching into Azu is not a great play because they could very comfortably Wild Charge here. I think I might switch Breloom into Azu just to try and clear my Intimidate drop. That sounds like a lot better of a play at the very least. And then if they go for Tera, I can, like any sort of defensive Tera, like a Tera Grass, for example, I can always just Bleakwind and that will do super effective damage before they attack me, which is good. They're going to fake out into the Azu. That's honestly fine. Bleakwind should do some okay damage here. At the very least, though, because they're not clicking E-Speed, I could actually probably just safely go for an Aqua Jet plus a Bleakwind here. We avoided on the Torn. Okay, that's good. That's good. We could pop Citrus on Azu. And again, I could probably just get a really free Aqua Jet plus Bleakwind into that. I could also potentially play off into the Iron Hands, which might not be bad either. I do kind of like the idea of going for Bleakwind here and then play offing the Iron Hands. That, I feel like, gives me the best outs here. And I think there's a good chance that Arcanine defensively Teras anyway. So I'm actually just going to go for a Tailwind here and then make that play. Or maybe even Tailwind and Protect could be a good play. I feel like Tailwind and Protect actually is a pretty good play. Let me go for Tailwind and Protect here. Nope. I'm going to go for Tailwind and Play Off. I'm just going to try and get the damage on the Iron Hands in all honesty. Even if Hisui Arcanine does Tera around it, that's fine. They would need to Tera around it and also switch. And if Iron Hands Teras around it, that's fine. It's still going to take a ton of damage. And that plus the Wild Charge will probably just pick off Iron Hands at least. So I feel like this is still an overall good turn for me. They are going to Tera. I'm assuming it's going to be Hisui Arcanine, because why would you leave that in otherwise? It's Hisui Arcanine. Okay, perfect. Probably Tera Grass? Tera Normal. Okay, Tera Normal's still fine. I can definitely still beat Tera Normal. Breloom will be great into this at the very least. And now that I have my Tera, I can actually just safely go for Mach Punch, which will be huge. So I can just go for Mach Punch or even just Loaded Dice, Bullet Seed. Point being is I can get some good damage off on that either way. Hands has dropped. That's perfect. Hands going down is really good for us. Because that's a mon that could have potentially just been an annoying piece of shit. They're gonna go for Rock Slide here. Perfect. Torn does drop. Honestly, probably best case scenario because I can bring in Breloom now. And Breloom Azu does put up some really strong field presence. So I'm very okay with this. We're gonna bring in Breloom. And then I'll have Sandy Shocks in the back, which can just deal some really good cleaning damage late game. But I do just kind of need to set up the field for that is all. So Breloom is gonna enter the field. Meanwhile, my opponent's gonna bring in Qianpao. Okay, Qianpao is definitely interesting. What I can proceed to do, I can honestly just go for like a Mach Punch here. And then an Aqua Jet and just try and get around. Or honestly, I'll Protect on Azu. And then I'm gonna go for that, yeah. Because Breloom, they're either gonna go for Protect and POW, or they're gonna go for a Sucker Punch. I feel like they probably won't, because I can obviously just dual target the POW and be kind of fine. I don't think they'll just go for Ice Spinner into me. If they do, then good play by my opponent. I don't think they'll make that play though. Frankly, because of the fact that I don't think that POW, I don't know, I mean, maybe they could. I feel like it's just a really, like, a Y play to make, I guess, to go for the Ice Spinner here when I still have Tera active. Like, I think that their best play would probably be to pick off the Aussie, in all honesty. Just pick off the Aussie before it can get off any damage and, like, break a Sash. We're gonna get the Mach Punch off. Okay, perfect. Arcanine is gone. That's a great mon to have cleared at this point. Because Shocks plus Breloom can still pick off most of this team. Also, Aussie plus Shocks can pick off most of this team. Or even just Breloom Aussie can, again, pick off a lot of the team. They really are gonna go for the Crash. Wow. Okay. As I said, it's not like it's a terrible play. I just didn't expect that they would make that play as well. I thought they'd really try and target the Aussie because the Aussie does put up so much pressure against their team. Especially if they're Life Orb. But they really just... Wow, okay. Damn. Well, I could still make this work. I could still definitely make this work, actually. So what I'm going to do here... What's their last mon? Fluttermane. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go for the... How much should we actually do with Fluttermane? Or versus... not Fluttermane, versus POW. They're going to be speed. That's fine. Let me figure this out real quick. So, with Sandy Shock's Life Orb versus Qian Pao, can we do enough damage? Earth Power might do enough damage. Like, worst case scenario, we trade, which I'm kind of fine with that. I'm gonna go for Tera Ice, and I'm gonna go for the Earth Power. I could also, let me check. No, obviously Tera Blast Ice is not gonna do as much. I don't know why I was thinking of checking that. So we can definitely roll this though, especially with Life Orb. And then I'm going to go for the Aqua Jet right into Fluttermane and just pick that off. Fluttermane will obviously take a good amount of damage from this. Now, POW would need to predict correctly. I don't think it will, though. I think it's going to go for the middle ground Sucker Punch play, which is honestly probably the best thing it can do here. Just going for the Sucker Punch right into my Sandy Shocks. I don't think it'll Sucker Punch the Ozzy anymore. I think they would have done it last turn if they were going to, which is fine. I can just Aqua Jet into the Fluttermane and then get some damage off from that. Perfect. Okay, so we get like half off. Actually, that's pretty good. Earth Power goes off into POW, and we do kill it. Okay, perfect. That's really good for us. Because I don't think that Fluttermane will kill us. We do have another turn of Tailwind up, thankfully. So I think I can just pick off Fluttermane at this point successfully. They're going for Gleam. Okay, that's fine. Ozzy will die, but Sandy Shocks is still around. Alright. So we should be good here. We should be good. I'm going to go for... How many turns of Tailwind do we have left? One turn of Tailwind. Fuck, okay. If they have Protect, I think they win. Yeah, if they have Protect, I think they win. We're gonna go for Tera Blast Ice here. Just because it's funnier, in all honesty. They're gonna Protect. Oh, fuck, I think they win. So close. Oh, no. Alright. Honestly, I can't lie. I think I kind of played that a little sloppy. Because realistically, again, I think if I just tried to target into the... Yeah, no, I think if I just tried to target into the POW with Breloom, I think it would have been fine. Damn, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Because I could have definitely polished this up. I should have also actually, what I should have done probably, was probably target the Fluttermane this turn. Because POW actually couldn't have really killed me. There's nothing that POW would have done logically that would have killed. I guess the question is would I have killed Fluttermane anyway if it was a booster speed set? I mean, yeah, Earth Power actually would have definitely killed. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, it is what it is. I definitely could have played that game 3 a little bit better. I think that was actually very winnable if I just targeted the right mon. Because POW couldn't have killed both my mons. And Sandy Shocks would have done enough. So, like, I guess Qian POW... just for my own sanity, would Life Orb Sucker Punch have killed? They would not have killed. No, I made the wrong play. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. I didn't do the Shocks justice, but it's okay. Sometimes you just don't. We're going to have the team down below as well as a rental code on, of course, the description, and we have the builder portion going over that. If you guys want to try this team out yourselves, it's a pretty fun team. So make sure to do that. Shout outs to Griffin for this again. Thank you very much. Sorry I didn't do the Shocks well, because truthfully, I could have very easily won the game 3 if I just targeted Fluttermane, but it is what it is. If you guys enjoyed and you want to see some more content like this, of course, like and subscribe for more. If you want to become a channel member, you get some nice bonus content. We have a Clefairy video going over how Clefairy will do in Regulation E going up on Sunday for channel members only. So if you want to become a channel member in time for that, of course, link to that will be in the description, as well as the join button right down below. Our current channel members, of course, are Zeke Zero, Mia, Timo Mueller, Sam, Rao Plays, Obo, Johannes B, Double, Endless Gadgets, Bam Bambi, and Josh aka Ultra Player. Your guys' support is greatly appreciated, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.